What are the most important life lessons you have learned? People don't look at you, talk about you, or think about you nearly as much as you think they do. And in the off chance they are, it really doesn't matter a fuck. Pick your battles. Many battles aren't worth fighting. With your wife, who's otherwise great. With your boss, who knows something is stupid but has to do what he's told. With a cranky toddler who only wants to wear purple today. Conversely, don't be a doormat. Some battles are worth fighting. Some battles are worth fighting even if you think you'll lose. Try to find your own principles and let them guide your judgment. Some friendships age like wine, and some others age like milk. If someone makes you feel tired and unpleasant more than happy, it's time to let them go. People may not remember what you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel. You have 3 main resources in your life. Your body, eat, drink, sleep, exercise well. Your mind, laugh, love, connect, care, contribute. Your time, motivate yourself to make the most of it. I'm still pretty young, but that has helped me. You are responsible for your own happiness. Don't expect others to give it to you. It is possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness, that is life. Jean-Luc Picard. No matter what you do, somebody's always gonna have something negative to say about it. You can't please everyone, worrying about pleasing yourself. 1,000 is not a lot of money to have, but is a lot of money to owe. $100 is simultaneously a lot more than I thought it was as a kid, while also being a lot less than I thought it was as a kid. The quote is cliché for a reason. It's true. Money doesn't exist until the deposit hits your bank account, and business promises mean nothing until legal documents are signed. I'd like to add that the strength of a legal document is dictated by one's willingness to sue. Bingo. You have to be ready to take someone to court for specific performance and punitive damages. My dad made a deal using a crane manufacturer as an importer on the East Coast for some machinery we were jointly representing. Ended up that we had to sue his ass and keep on him for 2 years before he ended up paying us anything for the work we did on his behalf. Learn when to stop drinking and call it a night. This one takes some unfortunate trial and error. Dental care is expensive. Never be lazy with oral hygiene. And dental problems are extremely painful. Can confirm, was headbutted at a pub when I was 16 and had months of dentist appointments to try and keep my teeth in place. Also had to live off milkshakes for 2 to 3 months because my front teeth were too wobbly to bite into anything. Lucky my mom got me dental insurance a few weeks before the assault took place, lol. Just because a person with authority tells you to do something, doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. I once had to border agents shouting mutually exclusive instructions at me while trying to re-enter the country. Anytime I did what one said, the other would yell and tell me to do the opposite. Don't let love blind your eyes. Red flags are real. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Maya Angelou. My sister's ex was very proud of being an asshole. Never have kids with someone you don't want in your life forever. To add, contraception is never the other person's responsibility. It is not even 50-50ths. It is 100%. Also ensure that they also want you in their life forever. It's possible to make no wrong moves and still lose. That is not a weakness, that is life. Stand up for yourself. If you get in the habit of letting people walk all over you, it'll be extremely difficult to reverse. Even if you're not confident, just fake it till you make it. It was shamed and punished out of me as a child, and it is so hard to relearn it now. I kinda feel like I'm just now getting the hang of it, but man, it's been painful. For me, it was shamed and punished by narcissistic parents, but I caught on to how fucked up it was at a young age and went kinda crazy overcorrecting. It was around the same time as some of the earlier internet prototypes of Andrew Tate's cult started popping up, and people starting referring to desperate -to-overcompensat for having a tiny dick, or whatever other crippling insecurity behavior as alpha. Pissed everyone off, told myself they were just betas that can't handle alphas like me. Yeah, I know, lol. Eventually realized how fucked up my behavior was and overcorrected again, and, like clockwork, started getting walked on again until years of abuse by everyone from family to work colleagues and supervisors and such got me scrambling to try and find some sort of sane gray area that involves standing up for myself against narcissists and other types of control freaks, but also trying not to be such a toxic weirdess about everything. I'm tired of playing this revolving door game. Not everyone has the same heart as you do. Good. This one barely works anyway. Do not spend like there's no tomorrow. Tomorrow will come and it won't be pretty. I have far too many friends who are, I could die tomorrow. YOLO, la 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 lottery ticket, when it comes to money. I rented from an older woman who was still working 2 jobs in her late 70s. Man, that was eye-opening and terrifying. You are not your emotions, you are an awareness who observes them. I usually don't comment a lot, but this sounds profound. Could you please elaborate or provide more similar lines of thought? Quotes. Using substances to cope is actually the opposite of coping, and the only thing you can be sure of is the eventuality of everything blowing up in your face. 139 days sober. 298 days and 3 different states since I left my addiction behind. It gets easier every single day. My entire life came crashing down in a viciously quick fashion. 298 days ago and I'm the happiest I've been in a decade. Congratulations on 139 days. I love that for you. Wear a helmet. It's an easy safety precaution you can take when rollerblading, biking, skateboarding, scootering, etc. And it can literally save your life. Went all through the 90s thinking helmets were lame. Fell while rollerblading in my 30s and got a subdural hematoma. I wasn't going fast, but the momentum from how I fell just slammed my head into concrete. Helmets save lives. Also use the seatbelt. If something feels wrong, it likely is. Or someone. Just trust your guts and be aware of red flags. Sometimes it helps to say, let me think about this for a few days and discuss it with someone else. Sometimes bad things happen to good people. Shit happens and it doesn't really need to have a reason. Sometimes you will be the bad guy, and sometimes you will be the good guy. It happens. I always expected that bad things could happen to me, but things happening that made others see me in a bad light against my intentions is something that really caught me off guard. I always try to be good, so when I for some reason is seen as bad, that is a very off-putting feeling. Suddenly I am a minor negative side character in someone else's story. You just gotta remember that you meant well. Everyone makes mistakes, and it could be a cultural difference or misunderstanding. They probably don't see it or remember it as bad as it feels for yourself. A falling knife has no handle. This was the first thing that was drilled into me when I started working at the butcher. If a knife falls, you get out of the way and let it fall. Don't marry someone with mental illness that refuses treatment. Second part of your sentence is important. We are all flawed and a lot of us meet criteria for at least one diagnosis in the DSM, but there's a difference between actively working on it and just saying I'm crazy because I'm a Scorpio. Or whatever nonsense people say for justifying their maladaptive behavior. Always take a chance to tell someone you love them, to give them a hug. Never end a conversation on a harsh word, both for the same reason. You never know if you will get to see that person alive again. I learned both those lessons from each of my parents. One night at a rock and roll bar, we were drinking with a bunch of friends. One of them didn't want to drink more and we teased him for being a chicken. He left early, alone. The last thing I said to him was fuck off. Admittedly, he was being kind of annoying that night, but in retrospect, he had to be going through something and we weren't there for him. He was assaulted on his way home, and he was stabbed in the heart to steal his cell phone. It still torments me to this day. I cut and seeded a ton of jalapenos because my mom stuffs them with cream cheese and wraps them in bacon. Yum. So I know you never touch your eyes afterwards, so my mom was using the sink, so I went to the bathroom and my brain was like, you need to pee, so I peed and washed my hands. Maybe 10 minutes later it felt like the skin of my penis was on fire. I stood in the bathroom with water and even used milk, lol. Good times. Don't let crazy put his dick in you. Guys always say don't put your dick in crazy when speaking of women with a ton of mental or psychological issues. But as a woman, I tell other women, don't let crazy put his dick in you. Don't do it, ladies. LOL. Don't help people who don't listen. My friend was in an awful relationship with a guy. He would only use her for sex, verbally abuse her, and sometimes even physically. She would tell me all of this, and every time I told her to get out and run, but she'd always make excuses. I tried so hard, and it was also starting to take a toll on me, and eventually I just learned to not say anything. She continues to be in toxic relationships, and I've just learned to not try and help her because she doesn't listen. Your family isn't a guarantee that you will be taken care of. Half my family wasn't there for me, and my other half was. My mom's side of the family and her new husband have been indispensable in my life. My dad was terrible to me and my family for years growing up, and it wasn't until after he left that my family did everything get better. Your relationships are more than blood. Relationships are 100% action. How you act to people you love is what matters.